All right, I think it's working. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday Spiritual Session with yours truly, Michael Rolla. Today, we're going to talk about unity, consciousness, and oneness. Because essentially what's happening with the world is all of the neglect and ignorance is coming back to bite people and you know what. It's one way of putting it, one way of looking at it, but there's a lot of things to talk about, because everything's going on and everybody just spends so much time arguing. And how many people are actually looking for the solution? So, everybody arguing to prove if they're right because it's global warming, or they're right because it's global ice age, or they're right because, okay, wait, no, we'll just meet in the middle. It's climate change. I know people aren't this dumb. You know what I mean? Like are people the cause of the change of the climate? Sure, I'm sure we had something to do with that. Look at our cities. At least the climate in those cities are probably not what they would be if they were left to nature. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's arguments where people say like we're only so much effect on the earth. Earth is humongous and it doesn't even care. Could shake us off like a bad case of fleas. The earth has been here billions of years. It's never, it's still here. It's had all kinds of beings on it and people and Atlantis and all these other times, and even dinosaurs. It had dinosaurs that were way huger than people, and I mean it's we're just, there's a lot of carbon we're burning. Sure. Should we stop gutting the earth of its minerals and resources? Yeah, definitely. So are we affecting it or not? It's like, this is the madness that we all have to put up with, where everyone's arguing. Listen, that's not unity consciousness. That's not oneness. That's not coming together, right? The whole idea, of awakening consciousness is that people need to start plugging in the facts instead of ignoring it. Like when you talk to people and you're like, hey, did you hear about this? They go, oh, no, I don't want to talk about that, right? That's ignorance. You're not willing to talk about it because something you believe in it is so powerful to you that it's literally going to make you have a heart attack just to talk about something or whatnot. I was listening. Hey, Tina, love you. I was watching. They got they just came out with the George Carlin docu series type deal, and even him talking about the 7 words you can't say on TV, And it's funny. I think I mentioned on the show, how he's coming out now more than ever. People are sharing his stuff left and right, and it's that whole concept that, what kind of wusses, are we living with out here in this world? Hey, what's up, that way? Trigonometry, bro. All of these experts and all of these people who think they know stuff, man, you know what I mean? I've already said this a million times on the show. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but it doesn't seem like it's dead yet. Okay. It seems like they keep running around talking on all that shit, and it's getting on my last nerve sometimes, but we learn to live with it. That's what we're here to do, slowly but surely waking everybody up. Shout out. I was telling some of you guys, some of the people, some of the friends, fam, check out Alex Collier's newest one. If you guys like Alex, he's an Andromedan contactee dude. And he's been at it for 30 plus years, but he was joking. He's like, I mean, it's like it's an IQ test. He's like, I don't know if I said this. No, because it's been 2 weeks. Yeah. We went to the coast a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and then we had Labor Day last week. And so, it's been kind of busy. But he was talking about how so if you look at all the stuff on, how it doesn't look like it's the White House behind them sometimes, or they writing with the right hand or they writing with the left hand, or how some of them, what is with this camera, dude? I'm right here, bro. What are you doing? It keeps focusing. It's weird. Hold on, I'm gonna block it out. So or some of these politicians or leader people who every time you see them, they look younger and they look, than they were before. And so he was joking. He's like, it's almost like it's an IQ test. Like, how many people can we show completely obvious to their face, and like how many people, that's not what he said. He's like, how many people like can we wake up or whatever, but that's what I'm taking from it. Like this stuff is right in front of people's faces and they don't want to read it. They don't want to hear it. Why? Because they want to live in their illusionary little whatever life. Like it's like when I shared the patent on the disease of it, not this, but the patent on the whole disease, the virus. Okay, like it was patented in 2015 or something, or was it the this that was patented for it in 20? Like I shared it. Look at it, right? I got people telling me, giving me feedback. I'm like, I didn't say this. This is right here already. I didn't write that. I didn't, say I didn't file for the patent. I didn't know what it was. So this concept of unity and oneness that people need to learn to come into, okay, has to do with their own level of unity and understanding and consciousness, right? Because they're not unified in their own minds and in their own thoughts and in the things that they're seeing, and then they're choosing to ignore it and not believe it, and it's right in front of your faces. And so this is why so people say, what's wrong with the world? Well, that's exactly what's wrong with the world. Nobody wants to face anything. And no wonder, what kind of weak ass people are we creating out here? You don't want to face nothing when what? But that's what happens. We get tired of facing all the time. So we try to hide. We try to hide ourselves out, right? Hiding means shadow, means not light, means not unity, means separation. Like hiding in our home by ourselves. We all scared of our neighbors, scared of everybody, right? All of this. Anybody talking about unity, anything out there, we got a long way to go. Until people can really start to, we got about 10 years or so, let's put it like that, until we got about 10 years here to educate and keep dropping all this information and dropping all this knowledge for people. But it's like the idea of what do you like and dislike or whatever, like we should be liking everything. Like if we're coming from the creator of this place, we should on some level be like wanting to experience like all of this. You know what I mean? Like there shouldn't be any, except for like obviously being hurt, things like this. Nobody wants to, but it's like, oh, I do like I pick this religion or I pick that religion, or I do, Tai Chi, or I do yoga, or I do that. Like we should just, and we can only do so much, so you pick one, but we should be wanting to do them all. And in wanting to do them all, we should be connecting the dots that are in everything, that it's all the same thing. So this whole stuff, everything out there, separation, and it's division and it's separation, even when this, it's like spiritual community or whatever, it's like, and obviously that's where there's way less of it than anything, you know what I mean? But I hate when I see little, well, I say hate, sorry, and that's the other thing too. We really gotta get back to this, fluffy duffy spiritual stuff. But I've said that before, we gotta start realizing it's all connected and it's all the same thing, and if here's something I wrote down, I don't know, I just typed it out, so hopefully I'll explain it right. But it's pretty funny because I was thinking about God, right? And the concept that it's like, so we got free will. Okay, so what is it? Wait, no, not that one. So what I was saying was, because what I wanted to talk about in this video too is ego. Because ego is not just a bad thing, okay? Just put it that way. And I've already said that 100 times. But I said something like, it's almost like creator has the biggest ego of them all. So there's two things, right? Either we have free will, right? He gave us all free will and it's all up to us. Okay, that means, right? Or the other one, it's not, and secretly there's a grand master plan that he's going to implement no matter what is with this camera. I'm sorry for the camera, guys. I don't know why it doesn't realize that I'm right here. It keeps zooming in and out. Look, I need more lighting in here or something. That's going to be annoying. Sorry, I hope it's not that annoying for you guys. Or it's, or it's that he has a grand master plan, right? So if it's, so which one did I write first? I don't want to say, so Right. So no matter what his children can do, it's ultimately that he decides, and or whatever it. Or if the opposite's true, then oh well, I gave them all free will, so it's all their fault, anyways, and they have to learn from their mistakes, right? So it's kind of just like, um, so it's like watch me as the light wins and nobody knows anything about it, even because anything's possible that they. But the reason why is because the people can't catch up with their own stuff. So like, is it our fault? Is it your fault? Isn't this supposed to be a unity thing, right? And so this happens a lot, like all the time, especially in the spiritual. We got it. We're the one, for the most part, we're the ones talking about all this stuff. So we talk about all the different layers, and we run into this and we run into that, and we talk about it, and it's a good thing, but anything that we're talking about that separates from the source, right? And that's a big phrase right there, right? Because a lot of it, we all know what it is because we can sense it, we can feel it, but do you really know what it is? It's the quietness, it's the shutting the up, is that source. It's all the stuff out here, right? Like, you know what I mean? No. And then it's you listen inside, and once you know the answer, and then you be, because you already are, right? So it's like I love figuring this stuff out too, but I don't research like I used to research. I mean, I research, we research very well as conspiracy hypothesizers, but all of the mishmash, blah, blah, back and forth, this, that, God said this, he said that, he said do like this, he said do like that, like there's no intervention. Well, there needs to be something, because we need something, number one. So don't tell me there's no non-intervention clause. Like, yeah, to a certain point, but okay, if the reason why the non-intervention clause is there is because I have free will, and on some level my own soul that's not letting me know is telling everybody else to go away, no, let him figure it out for himself. So now, do I got to argue with my soul, or do I got to argue with the creator? Who's running the show? Is the creator even available to change what my soul says? So at what point do I actually become my actual soul and get to talk with the actual creator and actually get some intervention down here? No intervention. No, we need intervention. We got a lot of drug abusers, alcoholics. We need some interventions. Okay, we got some money, greed, abuse, war, murder, a whole lot of stuff going on that we could use some help with, So did you create this and then you just let it go like a neglectful parent or something? Like, or did you, like, is this all the gift that we were given? And since we blew it, oh well. Like, none of this stuff makes sense, guys. So like, it's really important, like when you're learning all this stuff and you're feeling through all this stuff, like you just know already. You just know, like, when it's like how all this stuff's coming out now, where the people who stood up against the getting jabbed, or the people who stood up against anything, it's like, yeah, it's been happening like for a long time, decades. I don't know how it was 100 years ago exactly. We had the Great Depression, so that was pretty intense. But and it wasn't like it was now. So television in the 50s. So going back some decades, but we've always been fighting for stuff like this. We've always been, just because a kid acts up in the classroom, right? That doesn't mean he doesn't have the right to. But we grew up in a world where, like, it was crazy back in the 50s and years ago. Like, you couldn't talk back to your parents at all. Y'all kids nowadays don't even know the luxuries you got. Like, it was a weird ass time. Tight ass hose is what it was back in 1950. Sorry, non-safe for work. This is not made for kids. Like, that is, like, the way the people were, like, man, kill me. Like, I would not want to have to live in those times with those, unless I was with the hippie family. That would be cool, but it's just like, it's wow. Like, just the concept of, like, wanting to wear a suit and tie so that, or having to wear so that you look professional, right? Like that was on the George Carlin too. Shoot, I just saw it. We were watching it too, where when George started off, he did the suit and tie and he was on the variety shows, and that's what it was. There was no real like raw, comedy. There were no comedy clubs. He even said it was just coffee shops and stuff like that. People, not even there for the comedy. And then, all of a sudden then he makes that transition, and then he's got his long hair, the hippie hair, he grows his beard out, he starts dressing comfortable again, right? And it's like, so at what point, like, and like why, would we take him seriously when if anything, you take him more seriously now that he's embraced himself in that later part in his life. So this whole concept, suits and ties, like the whole concept that you need to do this in order to, like basically have people think that you are saying this or are being, what I'm saying? That's the illusion. It happens right away. It's happening right now with you guys looking at me thinking you know who I am or something. Like, you know what I mean? Even I barely know, you know what I'm saying? I just kid. But you know what I mean? Like, who we are truly deep down inside, what we are, what we're really capable of, and the way we talk to each and the way we think that we know people based off of a societal archetype, which isn't even an original archetype, and like worshiping people for, I don't even know why, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's all coming down, man. And I'm so excited. I just know we got some heaviness to get to until we get there. And I'm not manifesting that. No, that's not that's part of the grand master plan. Right. That's okay. Cool. Right. No, I'm staying positive. I laugh all the time. That's all I'm trying to do. Watch comedies, go to the coast, get some. It's actually nice out today. It's like 84 and I'm still sweating. Like it's been 120, so. But man, there's so much pressure in the world on everybody and everything to do this. And then we pressure ourselves because we feel like, oh, we're not doing enough. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Like, that's why I'm so ready to just go get lost in the woods and never come back. You know how happy I would be, like, you know what I mean? If I didn't have, I got some family here, I got to eventually sell all of this extra stuff that I don't have, which really isn't a lot. It's literally all in this one room. Right. So, but it's like the closer we get to all this stuff pouring out, it's like, I don't know, the closer I get to just hopping on the train and taking off. I can't wait because I know it's going to happen. I don't know, but I don't want it to be like that. I wouldn't mind still having a place, it's kind of funny, but at this point, it's like, mortgages and, and look at that school system. And dude, it's all crumbling right now. Like, and there's a whole bunch of people out there that are still trying to hold it up because they don't know any better. They're still sitting there arguing and debating over like what's right and what's wrong, not realizing like they're not coming to any conclusions. And not that they're not, because we are. There's a lot of conclusions that a lot of people probably aren't going to want to have to hear. And that's, again, the ignorance and the, the separation, the lack of unity, the lack of oneness, right? Oneness means all the things, the happy and the sad, the mad and the glad, okay, all the things, okay, that's part of it, especially if there's beings on higher dimensions that have ill intentions towards us. So we got to stop, but that's how the distortion happens, because then their ill intentions make them happy. So then it's creates a dark light. Yeah, we know, the shadow light, right? Which is all based off of the light, right? They're trying to mimic us, but they're not doing it properly because they're causing negative things to happen and then feeling good about it, versus causing positive, light-filled, loving things to happen and then feeling positive about it. That multiplies, and that's way stronger. That's why they have to constantly hold us down. I mean, the fact that like we're all still here on the earth and it's still balanced and we haven't blown up and blah, 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 just kind of goes to show like that there's the balance, is here for all the bad stuff, that they got to do a lot of bad stuff. I mean, look at the mentality of people just in general over the decades, over the years, people, we've been in darkness for a long time, even way darker than it's been now, man. It's been real dark. It's not really technically darker than it is now. It's actually more light. And that's why we can see more of what's going on and all their crap's getting exposed and the agendas and everything. So there's more light here now. It might be more intense because we got the fight is revving up and the energies are revving up, but it doesn't mean that it, you're the medieval ages, woo, right? They had guillotines, they had woo. We're lucky nowadays. I don't want to go there. What's up, G? The hippie dad. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, save you certain. Yeah, big time in certain timelines. Yeah, totally. And it blows my mind, that concept, like how they demonize everybody who's like just, I don't know, chilling. They shot Bob Marley, right? They shot Martin Luther King. They shot Abraham Lincoln, which had to do with political and monetary and that was, anyways, we don't want to get into that on the show. That was to change power, to shift power for sure. And like, I don't know where I was going with that. Come on, come back. Where are you? Yeah. Hippie. Oh yeah, that they're just picking on the hippies. You know what I mean? I've said this a million times. One day, everybody, the whole world's going to realize hippies are right. We've got it right. We had it right this whole time. I can proud to consider myself one. And I don't know if I qualify, but I guess it's really what? It's just a mentality, right? What creates a this or that? It's kind of just based on the dogma, whatever the dogma is that you're supposed to believe in or not supposed to believe in, like conservative or liberal or whatever. It's like, what even defines those? The only thing that defines those is the government. You know what I mean? The fact that Chris Rock nailed it when he said, I'm, about education, I'm conservative, and then he said, but prostitution, I'm liberal, right? So that's the point. So it's kind of funny. Let me see what else I got here. I really wanted to highlight that, because there's something about people and their lack of being able to, for every tough guy and tough girl that's out there, look how mad everybody's getting just from talking. Like nobody can handle the talk. Nobody can handle, the discussion. Somebody gets upset or somebody like, what was I watching the other day? I was watching a flat earther get debunked, by like just really common sense type of things that even I could understand. And he just was relentless and he kept straw manning the dude. He kept going off and like changing the subject and trying to bring about how, yeah, but if what you're saying, and then he tried to find like one angle on like how what the science guy just said, like kind of doesn't fit in with what dude, it was ridiculous. He just got stomped out. And it was just, but it was interesting to me because, and then the scientist guy, he's a teacher, he's a doctor. So he's like official dude, he's got his degrees. The interviewer was like, how come you get so, like you go at these people, and you can hear it, like he just challenges them with the science. He's like, boom, 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 or whatever. And he's like, you go after him. He's like, because people like this that are causing these false, they're literally, I've proved them wrong for an hour on this show. Right. But his livelihood depends on it. He's built an entire thing around all of this and all of his viewers and so he has to uphold this lie now, right? And so we got a whole world of snake oil. It's a whole world of snake oil out there, right? And we got to start catching up with this stuff. We got to start telling our children what's actually happening, not lying to them, not telling them cricket chips are the new thing and they're good for them because there's crickets in them. Are you fucking serious? I think this was in the UK. They don't got food in the UK. It's not like they dropped the cricket chips to the tribal African countries or something, like, or some people who actually who actually eat cricket. You know what I mean? They ain't hooking them up. And then what's in a potato? I can't. This is why this stuff is happening, so that we can all start to see how ridiculous it is. So once you see how ridiculous it is, it's okay. Get upset, get opinionated, cuss out your local government person, because honestly, they're not in it to help anybody. And if they are, they shouldn't be, because they don't know how, So this concept, right? So we're all here to help. Hey, it's a grandmaster plan. I don't care. I mean, it's up to me. I know that's what I'm doing. It's like both, right? So that's why, we're all out here talking our smack, right? Um, I can't wait. I can't wait for it all to come to fruition, because it's coming. All of this stuff, everything that we've always been saying, hopefully sooner rather than later. Um, but there's a lot of beings here that are helping us. There's a lot. You can feel them all here. You know how weird it is to feel like we're on the episode of what's that show, Big Brother? Big Brother, yeah, like the big, right, but like in an alien ET way too. Like this whole planet is being watched like all the time, and then to think that like it's up to us as humans what to do, what to do what, like how many other trillions, billions of beings, or millions at least, that are watching us, and they're playing a chess game. Are they playing it with us? Well, I'm not a pawn. At least I don't like to be. Um, it's like this. There's so much more to talk about. So the sooner, that's why you gotta just you get aligned with yourself, and then the more information you go, the higher you go in vibration, the more integrated you become. Period. And so you just and you'll find it interesting, the things that you'll go through, and the things you'll say, and things body, physically, mentally, emotionally. But it's so important to piece together what these things are, like the matrix. What is the matrix? There's a matrix of your thoughts, there's the matrix of your physicality, there's the matrix. You can take its separation. That's why this is the topic today, I guess, right? Okay, separation. It's all separating everything, and the only way to experience the oneness is by not doing any of that. So the second you think you know something, you plucked up. Sorry, you just messed it up. You were on a roll with your feeling and your intuition and just listening and paying attention, and then as soon as you went, hey, that's nope, wrong, you blew it, because now you labeled it, and now sure, you're right, that was wind. Okay, sure, that's what we call it, right? But what do we even know about the true essence of like what things are? So in the Taoists, right, it's even your lungs, they have their own intelligence. Every major organ has its own intelligence system. The lungs, the heart, the kidneys, the liver, the stomach, it all has its own natural function. So, and all of them collectively function, near the same within every body, right? You know what I mean? With varying degrees, but the idea of digestion in the belly. Okay, we all digest, right? We all breathe, in the lungs. Fish got gills, you know what I mean? There's an intelligence there that's creating that naturally exists. Okay, and so this is the Tai Chi and the Taoist and all this stuff. When you listen to it, it will tell you what you need to do. It's not about you coming here, reading a bunch of books, figuring out what to do. That's not how it works. It's why the body, you get like cravings for food or something. You're like, if you need something and you're like, I don't want a burger though, I'd stop eating burgers. But it's like you're really, really missing the protein or something. And that's a simple example, So that means you got to think, okay, go grab a protein shake, or let's do this or let's do that. Why is it that I want a burger? Because usually the taste buds, you know what I mean? There's a difference when you want something because you want to experience the experience of it, right? Then that's usually on the tongue, or it's usually superficial, or it's like a I'm bored type thing, or it's like like a moment like, yeah, I haven't had a burger, sit down, French fry, ketchup. I haven't done this in a long time, and then you want, but do you really want it? Does your body want it, right? And so that's the difference. That's how you can tell when you're doing what you should do or what you shouldn't do, because your body will let you know. The body can't lie to you. It can't tell you. If you hurt it, it's going to hurt. If you tell it you love it, it's going to love you back. It's going to say, oh, thanks, gee. That's how it works, because we're energetic beings. So understanding how to use the energy that flows within our bodies, right? That's what the whole thing is. The Tai Chi, the Kung Fu, the meditating, the energy work, okay? It's all the spiritual, whatever. It's all the same words for just us realizing that, there's more to us. And that, again, that's because of the ignorance, and that's not a bad word, but we don't know everything, but that's where it comes. That's from the ignorance of not listening to pain, to your body, paying attention, and whatever, you know what I mean, and that's where it comes from, or whatever, or the not wanting to talk about it, right? Like, I don't want to, don't go there, and blah 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 blah, right? It's willful ignorance. We've all heard that before, willfully ignorant, and we got to stop that. And that's what's happening now, because with the saturation of information, there's not going to be another choice. It's going to be everywhere, and that's how. I know. I don't tell them everything, but that's simple. We already know. That's why they're trying to misinformation and disinformation everything, or try to fight back against the misinformation, like they know anything. And actually, they know the actual truth, but like it's going to become easier and easier for all of us to call bullshit. And I think the majority of people already do and have, in the world. And it's just we've gotten used to, going to work and just being okay with that, raising our families, not kicking up a fuss, but that's what's going to happen. A lot of people, it's not just America, or it's not just, everybody in the world wants freedom, and we're all getting there in our own ways, but again, and then comparing, why? Because why compare? Like, yeah, like, because we still need more to go. It doesn't matter where you are. But again, it's comparing. And why do we even do that? Like, why do we compare to like prove I'm right, more right in my point than you're right? Why are we even, if we're not comparing just so that we can understand? You know what I mean? Then there's no other reason to. That's where all this misinformation comes. You guys got to, we all got to learn to read between the line, where you're hearing what they're actually writing. You're hearing the person's mind or you're listening to the person. You can see them actually writing or typing out the article that you're reading. That's what you have to tune into. That's what's in between the lines. Is why is he saying? Why he, she? Why are they writing what they're writing? Based on their mentality. And a lot of times when you read things, or you can pick up on the energy that was behind the person when they wrote it down. And it's like text messages or something. When you say, goodbye or something like that, and then you put like an exclamation point. Somebody could think you're yelling goodbye, like like you don't like them, or like it's mean, or you're saying like peace, or somebody could just think you're really excited and you're like, bye, I'll see you later. You know what I mean? Like, it could be like that. Inflection, right? Text messages, everything like that. But if you pay attention, you can hear it. And how many times have you guys done that, where you've listened or you've been texting somebody and something told you like this is what it felt like, but then you know what I mean? Like we know that's that intuition, but we're taught not to trust that, because we're taught to use the mind to somehow figure out through the words what the emotion is in the person. But you can't figure that out unless you turn your heart on and you listen to the emotion, not from the words, from the heart, And that's what everybody's got to figure out. That's what everybody's coming into. That's where too much school, college education, left-brained, right? Is the analytical and whatever, and stuff like that. Or hold on, let me take a sip of water. I got this jug when I was visiting. Where were we? Oh yeah, Eureka. It's pretty good, but this is actually Mount Shasta water in it by now. That's the same jug from 2 weeks ago. So I wait till it gets dirty, and then till a new jug comes along the way. I'll be at the store one day, need water. I'll grab another jug and replace it. Love you, angel fishes, all the times. Trigonometry. Door shaking. Somebody just went outside. I got you a gift, angel fish. You still on? You're not going to get it until I see you again. I mean, I could send it in the mail, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait. When we were in Eureka, dude, they had all kinds of... every Friday, they shut off 2nd and 3rd Street or something like that. And then it's just like all vendors. Every single Friday from like 5 to 8 or something like that, or 4 to 8 or something like. So it's pretty cool. And then I thought, like, man, we need to go. We need to be showing up with all our tarot cards. You know, I'm like, there's some cool places to live, man. I don't know. There's places out there that are already doing all this stuff or getting, trying to do. We gotta unify, unity, consciousness, oneness. We gotta start coming together. Stop getting crying over spilled milk all the time and being wusses all the time. Because I hear it all the time. Tough love, tough love, tough love. Well, then why is everybody crying and scared and in constant state of panic and fear? I don't know. That's not, that love ain't teaching them how to be tough. That love is teaching them maybe how to fear. Well, not tough love. It's done right. Anyways, we can debate forever. That's why I made a show, because I'm trying to align the lines that will lead us back to the first line that was ever intended upon. I don't want to do all the cards and bust out the crow. I'm getting into more cards, but I don't know if, they want to come on the show. You all want to come on the show. See, and that's the thing. They all want to be on the show, right? Because we're all supposed to be sharing. We all want the chance to live, to survive, to experience things, to do things. I'm saying if you don't like something, you don't like something, but we're supposed to be liking everything out here. Like the only reason you don't like something is because you got hurt by it, or I don't know. Like, why wouldn't you like all the colors, right? Is because you'd see a color like blue or something, you'd be like, oh, it makes me feel, blue, like sad, depressed. Okay, so that means something happened that you're connecting to. It's not the colors, like, or I don't like cactuses, right? Why? Because I touched one when I was a kid and it stung me. It's like, that's why you don't like cactuses, or I don't like the way that it's shaped and that it looks. And then it's just like I understand that concept, but what you're saying is it's not pleasing, it's not attractive. Like it doesn't mean you don't like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I love everything. I love the perfectly shaped and the oddly shaped. I don't know. But then are there things that are more appealing and less appealing? Well, then, yeah. But where does that come from? From our past, our DNA, our preference, everything. What am I talking about? I don't know. I'm just trying to say, God, guys, why isn't anybody listening? It's too funny. No. And that's why I feel like too, people say, why you just want people to hear you? And it's like, no, I mean, I'm good. Forget it. I didn't know why, what, never mind. No, like my girlfriend told me I once, like, what? Like, or she said for me, right? Or, like, why do you keep, having to tell me, like, you feel like you have to, like, I'm like, what? Talk to you and explain things to you so your boyfriend is who your boyfriend is. It's like, I don't know. Hey, forget it. I'm good with not talking and sharing my emotions or feelings. It's what guys are supposed to do anyways, right? And then shout out, what was I watching? Bill Burr. He's talking about, how all these women want these feminist men and soft men, right? But then none of them are attracted to them because there's, right. And it was hilarious, Bill Maher, he does Real Time on HBO, and he did his 8-minute segment, his new rule on it or something like that. Like, because ladies were writing in how Zelensky, Ukraine, one of them said she gets a lady boner from him, and I'm like, why? Because he's I don't even know what he did, because I'm a man. Like, we don't. He had to go to war. Yeah, well, that's what happens when we gotta go to war. It's time to go to war. Like, you know what I mean? Like we want to do it in the first place, And then if you don't want to go to war, then you're a wuss kind of guy, It's like this whole thing is kind of like men, patriarchy, and women, because when it's messed up for the men. And because it's been mostly patriarchal, masculine. Like, I get that argument, right? But when it's been like that, and the women have had to deal with that, the women are just as messed up now too, because they've had to make sense of something that doesn't make sense or whatever, and all the guys made sense. So we all got to get, again, it's separation. this concept, you know, or like only people and I don't care about being controversial, honestly. The more controversial, the better. But you know, I'm not trying to be mean or anything or hurt anybody. But you know, the concept of like, you know, changing your body, you know, isn't that some sort of like separation? Like not unless you really feel like you're, you know, like my thing is like if you're a male but you're really feminine, you know what I mean? Like then identify as a woman as much as you want, but don't start chopping off. Why are you chopping off body parts? Like that's separation mentality, man. Like when you're not integrated, because when you're fully integrated, it don't matter what you are. Because if you're saying I feel more like a woman, ask a woman, go up to a woman and tell her as a male you feel more like a woman. And I mean nowadays we have to accept that, but if a real woman will laugh her ass off at you, you know what it's like to be a real woman and you've been in that male body your whole time. Yeah, I'm sure you know what it's like, you know. Like, and kind of vice versa. But like the reason I'm saying I'm trying to tease, but you know, it's like the reason why this is all separation from yourself. It's all separation from the fact that you already are exactly who you are. You know, if you're a male and you're very feminine, then just be a feminine male. You know what I mean? And if you like guys, then be a gay feminine male. But if you still like women, be right. You know, like this is getting way out of hand, guys. Like I don't know how to break it to you. And everybody wants to know the answers. Everybody wants to know the truth. Everybody wants to know what it really is. Nobody's. Do you really? Do you really? Are you really asking the right questions, guys? Are you really looking for something, or are you just trying to justify? Are you just trying to be heard? Just trying to justify what your angle is? Listen, I love what your angle is. I'm all about all the angles. Let's go. Let's talk. Let's chat. Right. But if you want, right, love and peace and all that good joy stuff, right, then it doesn't matter what you identify with, son. Shit. It doesn't even have to do with it. There's nothing to do with it. You need to put me on my own like television station, like call it MRC 23, you know, radio or something. That would be perfect. MRC, you know, whatever. 1111 because that would be it. All right, so we got, let's see, we're doing the three for the collect for the week. Going forward, we got the Crows. What you doing, Crow? He's got a 9 of wands. What's that one mean, guys? I don't know. 9 of wands is the past-ish, if you will, right? I don't like to think of this as past, present, future, right? Because again, the only reality is the present. So this is like, you know, it's just mental past or it's emotional past or it's, you know what I mean? But it's still in the now. It's so the first past card is what's stuck on you still. The middle one is what you're working on in the present, right? And then the future one is perhaps what you're going to be working on in the future. Okay. I mean, there's so many ways to look at it, guys. And, you know, it all just boils down to, you know, the silence. You see what I did there? It's silence. I didn't know what to say, though, but it worked out. Right? Because I'm not trying. Right. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's trying too hard. I got a lot of energy, but it doesn't want to do anything like working 9 to 5 or, you know, like I got a lot of energy, but I don't use it for half of the stuff that, you know, like how can, because I can't like support like going, like it's like if I went to learn like psychology, like the whole time I'm there, I'm going to be like, this is just lacking. You know, it doesn't matter, like every single thing like that's out there because they're all specializations. And yeah, we can only do so much of one thing or whatever, but until we evolve, we're not going to evolve together as a collective until we add all the things together into the same part, place, time and we start, what I would like to start is the group where I get all the experts in all the different subjects, and then I mediate their discussions. Yeah, that'd be cool too, but I don't know how well that would work. Because again, there's a grandmaster plan. Right. Okay. All right. And we're all getting set up right now to be where we're going to be in the future. Who would have thought that that's how it works? You see how fancy this all is, but it's really just plain and simple. Anyways, let's go back to the page 1-6. Nope, this is the backwards book. They go king down to the 8 to the 1. I gotta do my nails, boy. Yes, 9 of wands. After much effort, a final task. There's not as much sunlight. Yeah, because it's kind of cloudy. That's why it's only like 80s today. Denotes a struggle in finishing a project, and despite the consistent success of the past, there is one last obstacle that needs to be accomplished before moving forward. The 9 of Wands offers encouragement to keep going. Take a moment to bask in all that you've already created. Is this the 9 of Wands, or is it the 11 of Wands? X1X. No, yeah, we're good. It is from this place you'll find the motivation to continue. If you are close to the end, this is not time to give up after working so hard. Replace the negative feeling or resentment with an open mind and visualize a successful completion. Yes, totally. Yeah, no, that's what's cool. You've already set up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You set up 8 different pillars, man. Now you need the 9th one. You're just working on the last one. And hey, if you think about it, yeah, we've how many times have we reset humanity? Some say 6, right? Maybe 8. And now it's the 9th one. I mean, I don't know. Now I'm getting a little too far out of here. Why am I saying that stuff? I don't know. Honestly, I just think it has to do with all the false flags, the major false flags. You know, it's like standing up in face of it all, and we gotta do it again. You know, like, and that's the other thing too. Like, all these people are standing up for the right to, and then there's people out there that are literally being like, you need to stop talking. Like, no wonder these wussy guys don't, girls aren't attracted to them anymore. No wonder, right? What was he saying? I can't remember. It was like 8 or 9 minutes on his, new rule. I was cracking up. Okay, and then we got 6. Of Earth Pentacles. Where's the pentacle? All the way in the back. 6. The generously charitable crow happily shares a fish since it has 2 and is not worried about finding more. Although he is a compassionate crow, he's not necessarily a philanthropist, and he does expect some form of payback in the future. The 6 of Pentacles denotes a time of receiving or offering help with strings attached. Ooh. Reversed, which it wasn't. The giving and taking has become unbalanced. You may be money or friend or take advantage, generosity, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so pay attention to who you're helping, right? And again, this perfect card for unity. This denounces the unity, right? He's like, yo, I got 2 fish. Y'all don't got none. I'm gonna hook you up with 1. Just hit me back later. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. How many times we want to help each other and we help each other and then we never get the help back? Let me borrow $5. I'll pay you back next Friday. And then you never see him again. And it's just $5. Like, you can't, like, we could do this right, people. We could do this right. So this is the part where it's our fault. Okay, it's up to us because we have to show up as people, have some freaking integrity, right? I mean, yeah, sure. The whole system is geared to teach you how to not and to not care to, but it's not you know what I mean? When you say, I've said it before too, when I just blab out words, like the world, but it's the society, it's the system that's been set up. It's not people. It's not the world. The world is a beautiful place. Holy moly. Mama Guy is gorgeous. Pachamama's beautiful beyond all get out. And she deals with us. All 7 billion of us deals with all of us and all the aminals and all the mammals. You know what I mean? This world is amazing. It's the structure of this BS society, right? Which we all know, and then just fill in the rest because I don't know where I'm not going any further on that. That stopped. I don't know. I felt the wall hit me. Excuse me. And then we got the magician, which is cool. But y'all know the magician. Look at that. He got the wand. He got the cup and the pentacle balanced on the sword. And he's flying up with the wand. Yo, that's a cool magician card, yo. Right? I like it. I should turn the light on. You know about the magician. Should I read it anyways? I like reading them anyways, because, you know, there's words of inspiration in these things. And it is the first card, so bada bing, bada boom. Right? Isn't it? Number one? Yeah. No, the Fool's first. Why is the Fool? So this book has the Fool on page 8, and there's no number. And then the Magician starts with number 1 on page 9. I never noticed that. Does the Fool not have a number? Where's the Fool card? All right, time out. Time out. There it is right there. Perfect. Yep. No number on the Fool card. Oh, he doesn't get a number, right? Because he don't know what he's doing. He's just, you know, he's just going for it. You don't need numbers. He's just, you know, and that's the beauty of the Fool card, is that faith, that trust, that you just jump right in. You know, it's almost like the faith card. Magician. Alchemy, resourcefulness, creativeness, manifesting, air element, connecting the physical world with the spiritual realm. The magician crow pulls the energy of the 4 suits representing earth, air, fire, water to create a spark that has the power to manifest into a transformative idea. Rising above the craggy, desolate mountains lined by the red and white roses at the base, magician symbolizes the first steps of generating success. His ability to carve out the desired path through difficulty using life experiences and a pure heart. Yeah, I think that's really cool how they talked about it goes up and then it comes back down. So we have to use what our our learnings here in order to send, you know, our what we need, and then we have to allow it to be created up here, and we have to receive it from up here though. See, that's why we're in the physical. Right? We're in the expressed, right? We're in the physical. We're here to put out what we get down here, or what we get from the downloads into our bodies. And then when we communicate back, you take all of your life experiences and everything that's in your gut from your bottom chakra, your root, and then you send it up and you say, this is what's going on with me. You know, not that they don't already know, and this isn't highly. There's a lot of guarding going on and things like this. There definitely is. If you haven't said thanks to your guides, I would always make it a point to do so. They appreciate it as much as we appreciate them. And that's the whole point. This is unity. This isn't supposed to be the separation game where it's like, is it, you know, are we doing it, or are they doing it, or is there no, you know, it's like anytime somebody talks about like some separating thing in the spiritual realm, it triggers me, you know, because it's not. The whole spiritual realm is here, and it's here right now. Well, not the whole thing, but you know what I mean. That's what and then on the bottom, what we don't see, 5 of Swords. Of course you are. At least it's not the 10, but it is the 5. I don't know the difference. The victorious crow holds the swords of those he defeated. On the surface of victory may look positive, but in the end could lead to loneliness and despair. The 5 of Swords denotes a hard-fought battle that you won, but the cost may end up being higher than expected. It could be a loss of friendship at the expense of being right, or a conflict that will leave you feeling isolated. If it was reversed, it indicates you're tired of fighting and have accepted that some gains are not worth the battle. Yeah, that's a good point, right? And that's really, yeah. That's living within your means, living within your, because when you live within your heart and in your inner guidance, you don't need all the other stuff, right? That all happens when we're kids. You know, for all the people, all the psychology, everything out there, most like 9 out of 10 things just all happened since we were from when we were kids, and we're just carrying it forward into this adult land with, you know, all this other stuff, you know. You know, it's like after you've been an adult for long enough, you know, it's like you look at a kid and you go, oh man, like I got to be careful what I say around that. Well, you know, if you have kids, it's just like you get into that adult land and everything is like, is it really different? I mean, really? Or is it just in our heads because of what we think society is supposed to be like, because of what the world is supposed to be like, you know, or something like that. And hey, if you're on what it could, if you happy with all of this, then no, no. So, then no, you're not. No, you need to work on your alignment. You know, it's funny. The only people who are happy with all this are people who don't have to deal with all of this. Like, you know, people who are happy to be on Earth are the ones that are at the beach right now and can stay there for the rest of their life and ain't got to do nothing but swipe a card every time they need to buy something. You know, that's it, or go somewhere and get gas. You know, those are yeah, that's freedom. And you know how they got that? Because they have money. I'm just saying, right? So this whole system, you know, it's again, it was the meme I shared. It's not the end of the world; it's the end of the illusion. You know, and so we still got to go through that. We still got to go. There's a lot of people in the world. Like as the spiritual community is advancing, you know, we're able to ground more light, and so we can hold down higher and higher plateaus for people to connect themselves to in their own way, and what those levels, who they are when they are on those levels, you know. But it's all just going to come. It's all going to come the same way that it did for, you know. It's just going to pick up speed. You know, it's going to go faster. It's going to be more. So basically, just like we've been going through now with misinformation or false light, you know, and all this stuff. Imagine this on a way bigger scale, and imagine the fact that there are false light beings that want to be just as famous as anybody, or, you know, even more, you know. And then if it's a bunch of good people, true light people who don't care about fame, right? People really got to start realizing who you're watching and why, or what you're watching and why you're watching that person, you know, and what their agenda actually is. Because people, you know, like myself, or those, you know what I mean, like, who we're doing this for the fun of it. Like I do this because I get a kick out of it. I joke, I laugh. I think there's a lot of things. I like words. I like teasing people. Like George Carlin is my homie, is my brother from another mother. You know, I rest in peace. Like I get it. You know, we and I think we all do. You know, and I think that's part of the beauty. And so, sharing things like this is just going to keep raising the consciousness over and over and over and over of people, because people got to stop talking about Kim Kardashian like especially to me, like I care, you know, or something. Or like, you know, there's a level of people who gossip, right? And I think the reason they gossip was because at some point, you know, like they're great because they're connective with people. They're really like humanitarian and all of these things, you know, and they really care about what life is like for people, like on an emotional, mental, you know, whereas there's people like me who I'm more of like ideas, and I'll look at what people are doing and go, don't any of you guys realize what you're doing? I love all you guys, but I don't know how to tell you without telling you. And if I was caught up in all of that stuff, like I wouldn't be able to see it, and I want to be able to tell you, you know. So it's like we have all these different, and it's how we come together and stop being upset by what people say, you know what I mean? But when you, so because that's what happens, we care individually, we care, like, so, you know, like gossip bad is, you know, it's gossip, you know what I mean? But if it's like, oh, you know, so and so just lost, you know, family, or they just got a new baby, or they just, you know, that's great news, right? Give them love, that's great. And if it makes you feel good, then that's great, you know. But we got a lot more things to talk about. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I just think it's just because I'm always watching. I'm trying to save the world over here, you know, and you know, and we all gotta do our best just to save ourselves and our own families, and that's why I say it. And so why is everybody worrying about what somebody else is doing? Like if I'm walking down the street and I overhear so-and-so just had a baby, that's a positive, I think, happy thoughts. I go, oh, God bless them, God bless the baby, oh my gosh, why did you have a kid in this day and age? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. See, it's just like, if I don't maintain the sarcastic level, it's the comedy, man. So I should be a stand-up comedian or something. I don't know. That's really my calling, I think. I just didn't realize it. It's too funny. I could still do it too. I know. I don't know if I'd want to, especially now. Oh no, I'd really want to now. I know it'd be fun right now. Oh man, I would be so controversial. Are you kidding me? Are they even ready? They weren't ready for George Carlin. He's dead, and now people are finally listening to what he was saying, because none of them saw that it was happening then. But now that we are seeing it all, now they're like, oh yeah, look what's been happening. He was so before his time. No, he was right on time. I mean, yeah, he was before his time consciously and awareness and this, and with compared to people, but the masses, but like, no, he was talking about the same things that are happening at that time. There we go. Anyways, this is why I like to just pick everything apart, because it's all our own creation. You know what I mean? It's like it's all in your mind, right? It's like, what did Kevin Hart make the joke to Shaq, and he's talking about with his girl or something. He's like women are dramatic or something, where he says, you ever like tap her on the shoulder and say, turn over, babe, turn over. And then she turns over and she's all dramatic. You gonna put fingers in my butt. He's like, what? She's like, you gonna put fingers in my butt. He's like, no, I just asked you to turn over, He's like, and the reason I'm using that example is because it's what we're creating in our minds. Like, oh man, it's right then and there. You're creating your own drama, like in your head, before anything happens to you outside of yourself. You're creating when you wake up, right? That's why they say the way your day is gonna go is determined on how you feel. Like when you wake up, if you stub your toe and you get mad, and then you stay mad all day or something, because you still your toe still kind of hurts or something, but then you let it go, and you just, what do you do? What's the secret? Letting it go. Right? How many channels does it take to get to the center of the spiritual truth? I don't know. We all have a different truth. Yeah, but not really. You know what I mean? Like, your physical life might be, or in your spiritual life could have been a certain way, but that doesn't mean that truth is different. It's true for you, and it's probably true for me too. Like it's kind of like that concept where it's like we have older generational people, and they're just old, and they just don't and can't and don't want to and don't care about understanding anything new, whatever the reason is that they can't, or that or they're upholding their prideful oldness, traditions. Or then there's the new kids who are like, and then it's completely different. Why is that gap there? It's the illusions that they're like wanting to create. It's you know what I mean? It's always an excuse. So it's a reason. Like my grandpa, he's 80, he's in his upper 80s, right? He's on Facebook. He's on Messenger, right? The only reason he can't text is because his thumbs are too big. That's it. That's right. And he still does every now and then. I'll get a messenger from him and whatever. He sends me links, funny stuff. He's, whatever. And then, I got mom, shout out mom, she's not that age, just not tech savvy. You know what I mean? Just not, I can't figure it out. So I understand why she has no desire to do it. So what she wants to do, but it doesn't mean you can't, And so, but what happens is then we say to ourselves, oh, I can't do that, or oh, I don't know how, or oh, and we're creating all these illusions and paradigms around ourselves. Like, why? Because I'm old, so they can't. Or then the young kid looks at the old kid, oh yeah, he probably don't know computers, right? And then comes my grandpa, and he's like got a computer. He doesn't have a computer background, but he almost went into computers actually at one point. But anyways, it's just like it's all separation. Everything is separate. You have black hair and they have blue hair and or brown hair, green hair, yellow hair. It's all us just constantly separating ourselves over and over again. But for the joy of experiencing what it's like to embody something within its full capacity and limited awareness, because it wouldn't be its full capacity. Because if we could see all the colors, we'd see all the colors. I mean, technically that's white or whatever, right? Or, we still can't see them all. But being able to then saturate yourself in one color gives you the experience to not have to be at a lack and with lack of all the other things. And this is the whole point of God. He's fractaling himself off, create source, whatever you want to call it, so he can experience something directly without knowing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like fear. How's God ever going to fear anything when he already knows everything? He already knows there is no fear. He already knows it's a construct of his own creation. There's no fear, there's no joy, there's no nothing. He's got to experience something somehow. And so then we say God's indifferent sometimes, and it's like, yeah, he probably has been. He probably has to be in order to be what it is. He is. I keep saying he, whatever, male on male. I use the male. So how's he going to do it? Right? Through us. It's crazy. It's crazy. And that's the realization. The closer and closer we come to realizing our connection with source, we're going to realize that we're all source, all of us. All the universes, all the beings, all the whatever. I mean, up to a certain point, sure, maybe there's more creators, right? Maybe there's a lot more to this, you know what I mean? But eventually, that one and nothing. We're going to get to the yin and the yang, the wu-ji, or the nothingness, okay? And then one is something, and then all the stuff. So there's a lot of creators because there's still a lot of first original out there. So there's a lot of creator beings out here in the universes. There's a lot of quote unquote gods or whatever you want to call them. And I won't even call them gods. It's not even close to what they are. They're creators, because the god of fire is just a god of fire. But a creator, he created the god of fire, or whatever. So, but it keeps going up and it keeps going and going and going. And how do we experience any of it, and how do you be it, right? You have to be it all. You don't have a choice, that's like the spiritual path. Sometimes people drop out. I'm done. I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to, because I don't want to experience that, so I'd rather be what I am. And that's totally fine, because that's probably your soul path. What God wants for you. He said, hey, I need some of y'all to just be plain as day, okay, down there. I need somebody to be amazing, and then I need some of y'all to be normal, or whatever the case. Now, do we all want to be the amazing, beautiful? Like, yes, right, okay. Like, that's the goal. It's always been the goal, is to experience, right? Because of the wanting to, the desire, the love of life, right? Like if you just popped out of nothingness all of a sudden, like so basically you're just, it's like there's nothingness, complete nothingness, and then at some point the light bulb went on, and then like you're like, what the? Am I here right now? Like, is this? And then you open your eyes, nothing but blackness. Whatever. You didn't have eyes. I don't know. And then it's kind of like, what are we going to do here? And that's when the dance starts. That's when the dance isn't, just like polarization, but it is, but it's the first polarization of nothingness and somethingness. So when we get into the somethings, now we're talking about hot and cold. And now we're talking about this and this. Now, it's able to be represented because of the nothingness. So technically, yes, but the original creational dance, right, from nothing to something and back again and back, that's all that it is, over and over and over and over. That's where we don't have judgment, whatever you're creating, whatever you're doing, this and this and this. But at some point, well, we know the story, guys. Sometimes it gets too much down here. And that's why I say, like, when I heard like non-intervention, when I first heard it, it's like 5 years ago or something, I was like, what? I was like, you were better than that. I got so mad. I'm like, non-intervention, then why are we here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, we don't want to intervene, but we're just going to make a human and put them in there. Oh, that's not all of life is intervening. Like all of, I like, so we got to be careful with the words out there that we're listening to, and right, because what's the full consciousness? It's when you piece it all together. Like the like the experts talking about, is it an ice age, or is it this, or is that, a lot. But what's the other example? Like, people, they talk about it from a limitation, and they don't include how, like, it's all like I said, like, so some people say, Earth, humans aren't the cause of the Earth, climate change or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, but we're ripping the resources out of the gems, the mine, we're mining, we're not even farming, or we've been farming. I mean, we're doing all this, we're fractaling, right? Whatever, everything's going on. We're sucking oil out of the water, out of the oceans, and out of the land, and it's like it polluting the air. So yeah, obviously we're like, so it's like all these people just arguing, like, just like they know the totality, like they know the whole thing. No, humans are not affecting climate change. Yes, humans are the reason for climate. Like, the fact that, like, I even have to sit here and watch these people talk, like, that's why I turn it off. I don't. That's why I don't. No, I'm just saying. I was gonna go somewhere with that, but that's what I mean. It's separation. We have to start watching for that. How are you separating yourself from yourself? How are you going unconscious in your own mind in certain areas and not remembering to connect that piece? Like me, when I blab all the time and I say the word, and then I have to be like, that's not, okay, put that back in there, put that back, let's connect to that one. Okay. Was it Lethal Weapon 4, Joe Pesci? Okay. It was hilarious. We always do that one. Okay. Classic. Hippy dippy weather, man. For your weather. Oh, I dropped a ton right there. Let's redo this. Yeah, you guys needed to shuffle up. Yeah, you wasn't ready to come on live today, was you? Something told me that you're feeling not stiff, feeling lack of energy. Why, guys? I think that's because of the overcast here. We usually have a lot of sun. I've never shuffled like this before. I don't know what I'm doing. This is fun. Oh my goodness. Right? And when I think about that, I look at, like, all the different systems, even, like, spiritual system, everything that everybody's creating, like, it's great. It's amazing. I just look at it and I go, man, we got so far to go, man. Cancel, delete. I'm not trying to manifest, but, like there's so many things that people are going to learn from now for the next 10 years, and then ideally we'll have a good group consensus on what's really going on around. But I feel like, man, it's going to take a lot, and because I had to learn them too. But I think that there's just some of us out there, we're born and we already see it, you know what I mean, or we already get it, or we already, I don't know how to explain, or whatever words you want to use, right? And it doesn't take all this time and all this effort and all this stuff to learn and all of it, to figure it out. It just doesn't. And the fact that most people need that, I really love to speed this thing up. Like put us on, like, global TV and let us talk to everybody, you know what I mean, and get this show on the road already. Give us our security line defenses back so that we can do these things that need to be done. Like the concept that all these souls keep incarnating to, like, and that's how this is the place of rehab, because every time you want to, like, help somebody wake up or something more, right, and then spirit tells you no, don't do that, they need to learn for themselves or whatever the case, it's like The only reason, if we're here to raise the consciousness, right, then why would you not want me to talk to that person and try to raise their consciousness or do anything to try to raise their consciousness? If you're telling me no, they need to hear and this is for their less, this is what they wanted, then clearly they're clearing off some karma or something, or they're here for what they did in their past lives. Because it doesn't make sense to then say that we're here coming to this earth, we're going to save it, we're going to help it, save humanity. But then every time I try to save my brothers and sisters, you tell me no, it's part of their soul plan. Well, what? I thought the soul plan was evolution, bro. Like, I don't know, like what? Oh, okay. So no. So that's how you know this is the place of the rehab, because this is where one of the places where, people need to come to serve their time, I guess, right? Okay. Whatever the case is, But then we come here and then it's so jacked up down here. It's like people get forced to do things they don't want to do. It's like, dude, this place, this ain't a good rehab. I'm just gonna put it like that. And that's why we need to just get this show on the road and get this over with. But don't listen to me. Hey, I'm just here. I'm just like I said, I'm sending my signal back up so they know. Yeah, they know. Right? I just need to know. No, I think I don't think I need to know anything. Like, either you tell me everything there is to know, otherwise, like, don't keep breadcrumbing me. And that's why, again, I say, so how do you skip the breadcrumbs, guys? You stop following them. Stop following them. Stop following it all. Right? I mean, you got to see what you resonate with, yeah, but how many martial arts does it take until we know how to fight good? How many yoga postures does it? Well, I don't know. I'm just picking on. Every posture is different or good for a different, reason. It's like, and that's the joy of it. Is like, there's a difference because we've monetized things. We're supposed to be here creating all the beautiful stuff that we want. We're supposed to be able to create new kung fu forms whenever we feel like it and experience, right? But no, we all got to work, and go to, or what I mean. We're all in some system or something that that until you can get yourself out of, you won't have the freedom to do those wonderful things of just expressing your light throughout this world, right? Which is all we're supposed to do. And a lot of times, though, then you go back and you want to share it with people, or you go into society, you got to be careful of that stuff. Right. Okay, so is this because I'm blabbing? Yes, I'm blabbing. All right, come on. Moving forward. We got one. We're doing 3. Okay, then it was quick. Look at that manifestation, instant. That. For the week. Oh, we watched, what did we watch? We watched that one, Nope. It's pretty good movie. It's about aliens. Spoiler alert. It's pretty cool. Belief system. First card. No kidding. So moving forward for the week, be careful and watch your belief systems. Earth present. I'm done. I'm not even reading that one. Where'd it go? It totally fell like in the words. You like fall all the way behind and slide through and slide. Yes, it did. All right. Well, yeah, that card's gone. Yeah, that was really that one's so grounded. It's buried. I'm never gonna find it again. That was hilarious. I think I remember that number though. 53. Right. Earth belief systems present. Where's the dude? Okay, so here's the dude again. You can't really get this dude. What is he? There's a human tendency to cling to belief systems and rationalize them as facts without realizing that they're illusions. Hello. In fact, any construction of our minds, beliefs, thoughts, emotions is an illusion, not representative of our true nature as aware consciousness beyond the human experience. Thank you for the card. I'm so glad I'm reading this. You're welcome. Yes, thank you for reading it. This is seen as a unique human trait, one that obstructs our growth at every turn. Take a look at your belief systems and your view of the world. See them as constructs of ego rather than universal truths. Only one truth exists, that you are pure consciousness. Everything else is an illusion. Boom. And that's that. See, that's what I was saying too. What is God? It's all of us. Right? And if you were to be, if I was to be for all, what am I going to do? I can't. Don't touch them. Let them go. They're your children. You got to let them figure it out, right? Because that's the area. This is where my kids are, and then I would be like, now this is where my warriors are, right? And then boom, like you got angels and or whatever you want to call it. Then we got that. So it's all a piece of the puzzle. And the sooner, once we connect to that and we know that, we're allowed back in. Not like it's allowed, you know what I mean? But then we're connected again to it, and we can feel it again. We can see it again. We can experience it again. So we're all connected, or all of us are connected to source. If you got a soul, there's no, you can't change that. So it's always here. It's always looking for you, and it already knows you. It's like, that's what I mean. We got to stop looking, but. Right? It's all in the words. Words, guys. We know words. Okay, next one. Alone time. Vega in the present. Didn't we have this one like last week? Ancient vegans were solitary beings. They often spent large amounts of time alone in contemplation as a way to remain centered so that they had enough energy to be of service to their community. In current times, most people don't create the space to have this alone time, so it is very vital to their well-being. That is so very vital. Then we have this like 2 weeks ago, for real. Take a good look at your need for this essential quiet time alone. Give it to yourself, not only for rest or activities that recharge you, but look deep within yourself and work on your inner challenges. It's a fundamental need of all humans. This can no longer be ignored. Right. Alone time. And that's the thing, it doesn't even mean alone, right? It just means quiet. If you got family or kids, it just means, you need 15 minutes to meditate. And when we get good at meditating, it don't take long and it ain't hard, right? Make a list of what things you want to be good at and go do them. Even me, I need to be way better at meditation. I still feel, but I'll always feel that way because I'll always want to push myself. And I part of me feels like no matter how better I become at anything, I know I always have so much farther to go. So I'm just like, sometimes I just don't even meditate. Sometimes I just go, yeah, all right, maybe today, no, all right. And then other times I find myself meditating when I wasn't expecting it because it just happens naturally, it's just, so that's cool. All right, 55, we got Orion, and then we got present. Yo, the Orion energy is deeply polarized. Oh no, the Orion energy, deeply polarized, went through a dramatic healing process in which those polarities fused together to create a powerful energy that fueled their society's transformation. Whenever two forces collide within us, it creates a process of fusion that releases an intense energy for manifestation. This is the basis of what we call magic. The fusion of two opposite energies that are harnessed and directed in a desired way. This is why it is important to embrace both the shadow and the light sides within us. We then create magical transformation. Embrace your abilities as a magician. And did we not get the magician card? So bada bing, bada boom. I'm telling you right now, fusion and magic. It's like the fusion of the 5 elements, which is shout out the Healing Tao USA on that one. Michael Wynn created that. But yeah. Or the internal alchemy that you can do, just your fire and water. Right? You use the fire to steam, to evaporate the water, right? And then you can douse the fire with the, right? And you can create that, well, no, I know I'm saying fusion all the time, but you create that steam and it's pure energy within yourself. But I love how I talked about the shadow side, because it's your shadow that fires you up. This is why I want to talk about ego. Okay, cool. This is the ego part. Cool. Like your ego is the part of you that says, F that, no more. And I'm not like, you know what I mean? I mean, there's all kinds of ego. There's good egos, there's bad ego. So, but if somebody's telling you like, because you had an opinion about something, that's your ego and you need to let it go, like, don't make it don't make it more upset, please. It's like, please save your comments, please. The ego is not taking questions at this time, or orders from anyone at this time. It's funny. Oh, I gotta find that other card. Oh, put that one back in a minute. And then we got Odin. I'm always loving these guys. I love the energy of these cards. You know, and there you go. They just told us the secret to magic right there. To magic and manifestation is you uniting both sides of yourself into oneness. Because then what happens? You're united into oneness, and everything else right. So any energies that you can take, right, and you can find harmony and unity and oneness within them. Whole new world. Take a ride on my magic carpet ride. What? I don't know. I can show you the world. Then we go off to the universe. Then we really start having fun. Boom, boom, boom. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see, Odin, what you got, Odin, for the week ahead? Sometimes they just fill you up, you know, with energy. No words, just an expression. That's all. Because there's no words to express some of their energy sometimes, you know? Like that's the whole goal of translating it, you know, or of a channel or of a medium or anything, is to say the message as clearly as you can. And that's why I always talk about using words to explain what it is you're essentially trying to say, not like using words for explaining what you're trying to say instead of using words to explain what you're saying. I think that's the way, right? You're using them as a tool in the one aspect more than, I mean, obviously there's always a tool, but yeah. And then so when in doing that, that's how we're going to start to communicate and we're going to understand each other, right? The only people who are getting confused about words are people who studied spelling and grammar way too much. They're the ones who studied it the most are the ones who can't communicate the most, you know. But according to them, they can communicate the best because they know where to punctuate things and they know how to say the sentence properly. And then I'm just like, no. I don't know. But again, that's just me in my opinion. Whoa. Thank you. I appreciate strength. Okay. Jeez. Don't hide your cards from me. I knew you were going to give me one. You know what? We already said two. Okay, that's it. Yeah. No. Quit messing with me right now. They said yes and no. I said no first. And they said, yeah, go pull one. Oh, you stinker. Don't do that like that. Oh, we had him last time. On the bottom, we have Elhaz. Wasn't he the deer dude? We had him like a couple weeks ago or something. So we got Old Hall, which I think we've had before. Yeah, isn't this the Earth one in the seasons or something? We had this one before. Let's check it out. Water. I got all the doors shut and I shut the window. It's getting hot. Because otherwise I'm blabbing outside and I don't know if anybody's going to be out there running around. They get a free show. I found the second card. Runes, man. It's runes, isn't it? Oh, it's the 9 realms. That's what it is. See, it messes me up because their things look like runes. Or it is. No, it is a runes. It should be a rune. But it's called Old Hall. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to go back through this again. Hopefully not. There's Eldhalt. See, there's the deer El has. It's like more runes. Okay, sacred inheritance and property. Really? This funny. That was not. Yeah, you guys like to say we're going to inherit things. Yeah. Well, who is Earthlings? We already got it, and they're screwing it all up. So can we get rid of those guys real quick, and then we inherit it? I don't know. Okay, so Odhal is the rune of inheritance and the sacred bond between family and clan. Property is involved in the interpretation of this rune. We once lived tribally, moving around in search of water, fertile soil, and a good climate, and honoring the mysteries of each clan. The land was never owned, it was simply lived upon. This rune indicates the sacred union of your ancestral background and the truth of who you are today as you integrate what your ancestors have passed down. You may also need to let some part of you go. In today's world, families move apart, clans disperse, and sacred knowledge is lost. So by drawing this card, Udhal, is encouraging you to find your family and reconnect. Mend what was lost in the past and regain the spiritual inheritance that connects you to your ancestors. Sometimes we need to release who we think we are to get to the root of who we truly are. This inheritance could be a form of money, land, or possession. So cool. Yeah, no. And again, alignment, getting back into who you are, getting away. Essentially, all of these things, they're all talking about how the mind can get away from all the crazy stuff out there, right? It's all right. But we think, because we've been duped for so long, we think that it takes some magical process and you have to be a magician or you have to be some kind of magical energy worker person or like this or that, and now, yeah, if you don't practice it, you're not going to know how to do it, but it's all practical and it's all just normal stuff. So but we think it's this magic, so we hype it up, we sell it, as this extravaganzas, or it's like entertainment, and all this, and it's like the only entertainment I need is good people to hang out with, and some nice weather, and frisbee, right? Depends where we're at, bonfires, whatever. Like it's like it's interesting because then you think about entertainment and of all the things you've seen, all the shows you've gone to, even like live shows or whatever, like which are cool, like Cirque du Soleil, what is that one, right? Like that's cool, but it's like even those, like you're sitting there in the audience for how long, and then whatever. Like I saw the play Wicked, the witches, they do the Broadway, and we saw it in, was it on Broadway? It might have been on Broadway. It was in LA. And it was freaking amazing, right? But for as much fun as I've had there, I can still think of 100 different times where I laughed and hung out with people that because it's raw, it's more raw, you know what I mean? You're involved in the play when you're there, So yeah, there's a lot of great entertainment out there, right? And I'm not saying like I'll watch every comedian that exists ever, like, because I love them all, right? But experience, man, it's all about the experience, There's nothing that beats that. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Healing, it is a ear. Look at her. Yo, that's Miss Shaman right there. Shaman Aman. The word ear means peace in Old Norse. The goddess Eir was known as a physician of the gods, physician to the gods. She is one of the Valkyrie. Yeah, Valkyrie. I like saying Valkyrie. The gods are immortal, but in Norse mythology, various stories tell of how they need doctoring in the same way as a human would. Indeed, in battles, the gods sustain wounds and Eir stitch them up. In your mortal experience, you may be physically wounded or suffering ill health. This card warns to look after your health. Remember, you cannot be of service to others if you are not well. Along with physical illness, there's always an emotional element at the core. Eir encourages you to address this as well as its physical manifestation. Burn cedar to clear your energy and look to the herbal medicine chest to support your health. Breathe into the part of your body where the sickness resides. Always breathe into it. When you exhale, you can release the energy and help the healing process by letting go of any attachments to the disease. This is really important, especially with what's happening with the whole world. So moving forward, yeah, we all got to watch out for this, right? Like your life is better when you feel good, when you work out. Like I hate to break it to you, like it just is that way. So the whole I don't want to do it because is coming from the fact that you're not doing it. So it just compounds on itself, right? Like eating healthy, right? It's like, was it the one time I had some watermelon and I was just like, woo, like I had energy, I felt hydrated, right? Watermelon hydrating. I felt good. I was like, I just had just some watermelon and I feel fantastic right now. Like the effects of watermelon alone, that's it. You know, no cheesy, greasy burger, doesn't matter. Watermelon's delicious. And I was like, I had a little bowl, you know, whatever, just watermelon. I was like, oh. Right? And that's what happens once we clean ourselves out. Because in the beginning, we're like, oh, nutrition, antioxidants, you know, but they have to kill all the bad stuff still too. So your body could still feel bad. You could still be purging or whatever, you know, you could be doing anything. So until once it's clean and it gets clear, and then you start eating healthy, you're going to be like, you're going to be super sane, you know. And but this, I like this because it alludes to something that's really important, okay? Because everybody wants to know how to heal. I'm going to tell you right now that it's very simple if you just understand the basic concept, okay? Now, listen, I'm not like the expert, whatever, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm okay. You know, I think I'm good. You know, if I get sore, stiff or anything, I'll work out, I'll twist, I make sure to, you know, keep myself moving and flexible, right? Because that's the key. That's the key to long life. Keep your body flexible. Because what happens is you get older, you can't just do normal stuff, right? Because you stopped touch your toes and then, you know, lean back, put your hands on your waist and then lean back and stretch, you know, you're this way. And it's because we stopped doing that stuff. We got so cramped up over time. Just stay flexible, man, and you'll be flexible. It's think of who doesn't want to be flexible, adaptable in life, you know? That's every baby, every child. But what was I say? So people want to connect to healing. All you have to do, oh, my PC, I got to plug it in. What is it on? Hold on. Give me 6%. Holy moly, guys, wait. I can't do 6%. You didn't even give me a warning. How are you going to warn me at 6%? There's no time. Please don't tell me it's on this side. It is on that side. Okay. Is it in? Are we good? This cord is a little stretched. Okay. I'm not going to touch it. What was I saying? Oh, so like everybody wants to know how to connect to healing and this and that and the other. And all you have to do is, so if right, this explains it. It's simple. You understand it. So we're soul beings. We have physical vessels, right? And what we want to do is we want to heal the vessel, or maybe not even heal it. Maybe you just want to transmute. You want to get stronger. You want to feel like this. You want to feel like that, right? This is how energy works. You send that to your body, right? As a soul from the inside. I always put my hands up here, right? Just see, I still do the 10, right? The 10. You send that. So essentially, you're sending it to yourself by it emerging from inside of you, right? And so when you connect to that, and you have like a sore whatever, okay, you connect to that feeling of energy, and just by that connection alone, you're telling your body, you're giving your body how to feel better, right? Like the sugar pill. Right, you pop a pill on them, and it's nothing but saline, or it's just sugar, or whatever. You know, well, I don't think they did whole pills of sugar, but that would be delicious. This is good for me, right? You say, yeah, it's good for you, and then they're healed, right? That's the whole point. We know the story. So how does that work? Because they are convinced now in their mind that their body is now producing healing energies and that it's back to homeostasis, and then they're healed. So everybody's trying to figure out how to heal out there, right? All you got to do is breathe in that spot that hurts or something, and then heal it. Keep telling it, give it what it needs. But sometimes that means you have to get up and go for a walk, or actually move around too, right? Like you can't just, Dorsha, you can't just, sit there. And then, because a lot of times what happens, so like if you got back, like lower back, like you sit for work a lot or something, you can go into it and heal it even right there on the spot, and it'll start to feel better. But until you actually lift up and, let your hips, not be crush or condense, you know what I mean? It's not going to have as much space to do the release, you know what I mean? Like essentially, but is there a way that we can get the body to, like, you can literally trick your body, right? They've said this before. They talk about this, you know, a lot of things, or what is that, neuro-linguistic program, that NLP stuff, right? Where you tell yourself over and over, like a mantra, right? And it's like, this stuff's real. Like, it's real. Like, once we realize how this works and how we can control our bodies and what it feels like, what our bodies receive and project and all these things, healing isn't going to be so hard as it used to be. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to get a lot easier for people to do. You know, the concept that we need something from outside of us just doesn't even make sense, you know, because none of us got here that way. Like, I mean, our bodies did, sure, but how did our bodies even, you know, manifest? I mean, it's consciousness, you know, but it makes sense that some people could think it's just evolution, just, you know, mama and daddy and over and over and over and over and over having a baby over, or, you know, and then going down generations. But again, that's limited. That's not, there's no way that the souls, the feeling that we would have, you know, it's just, I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation for some other time, right? And I'm not here to convert anybody or anything or force it. Yeah. But there's a lot more to it than just, you know, and that's the thing. That's just limited human perspective, right? That's just trying to figure out how we got here, who we are, how everything else got here. We haven't even thought, okay, how'd the planets get here? You know what I mean? How'd the beings that are on that planet? So what we're saying is everything just happened from some big bang. Okay, guess what? How'd the big bang get here? Right? Oh, there was right? And then doesn't the Bible say there was like nothing, you know, and then God said, you know, whatever. It's like this, like, it's all so distorted, right? And so the best we can determine, I would say, is that it's nothingness and somethingness, and that creates the dance of yin and yang, because there is a neutral point where you don't think of anything whatsoever, and at that point you can experience everything that's out in the world. That's where Mr. Source, Mr. Mrs. God, I would say Mr. God, like I was saying this whole time with the Mr. That's where Source is at. He's already there, and he has to stay there, you know. So what he has to do is create fractals to come down and help, right? And that's what we're here to do. Share the word of Source. Not just some magical whatever fancy you want, or whatever reality, or whatever your story, you know. No, it's Source. And guess what Source is? Source of all things. So like I say on my show, we got to start talking. We got to stop being afraid to talk to each other all the time. I keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it, but I'm going to start to change the way I say it. That I love to see that we are all coming together and talking more and more now and other. And I love seeing the disclosure come out. I love that people are asking for more disclosure, or that some people are challenging the disclosure because they're seeing the disclosure, and it's creating more energy around disclosure. Just like that negative stuff works, where it's always tricking us to, you know, feed negative with our thoughts. No, all of this talking about all of this stuff is good. It's very good, right? For all of us. We got to normalize the fact that, like, spirit is actually here. I don't know why it's not normalized. You know what I mean? I mean, religion's had a lot to do with that, you know, and then separation of church and state. And then, I mean, they just, you know, and politics, and then, you know, in science, right? And you know, like, that's the whole, that's my thing with science. Like, you know, I don't know. What are you gonna do? Some people still remember, I guess, a little more than others do, and that's just all that it is, you know. And so we're here to be who we are on the spiritual level. We're not here to be who just we are as humans, right? It's not about me convincing all you guys that I'm the guru or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even like gurus myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. I love anybody who thinks whatever they are. I don't care what they call themselves. If you're cool, you're cool. That's it. I don't care what you call yourself, right? And that's my and this is where I'm coming from, source, to explain to all of us. And it's not, and it doesn't sound nice, not to the human, not to the society, not to the, what is that, the quote from the Matrix, right? That they're so dependent on the system that they'll fight to even protect it, you know, even though they know it's, you know, wrong, or I forget how that goes, you know. So it's like, yeah, well, I'm here to fight for the system that owns all systems, like, you know what I mean, because it's not a system, right? And that's what it is. We're not here to project agendas all over the place. We're here to bring back organic life and organic being, and are just, you know, living, expressing yourself spontaneously, you know, stuff like this. Like, you know, because we were watching shout out to George Carlin, right? Like, you know, he was talking about back in the day, man, you know, in the 50s, 60s, you know, or I don't know, he was probably born in the 50s, was it? I forget, 40s or 50s, but yeah, because he wasn't that. He was like in his 60s or 70s when he passed away, and that was 2008 or something like that. So, yeah, 40, 50 something. But growing up in the 60s, you know, with all of his stuff that he had to do, and he had to explain it all to everybody, it was just, what was I saying? I forgot. I forgot where I was going. You know, it was just cool to see how, you know, it all changes and how it's all, you know, how people constantly somehow think they know what you're saying and completely misunderstand you, you know. Like, he does the 7 cuss words, and they arrested him for it, you know, or he got sued or whatever, you know, and then he ended up winning the case. And the guy actually said, one of the guys in the interview said he was at the court case, and at one point the judge had to cover his mouth like this because he was laughing at the whole thing. They were acting it out because he you know what I'm saying? But then the way he explained it was he had to say how, like, there's all 400,000 words in the English. How come these 7 offend people? You know, where's there's no context even around the word, but people are getting upset by it. Like, it's like nobody even said anything, you know. And then if you take like the F word and you apply it to the opposite sex in a sexy situation, it can be pretty nice and fun word, you know. But then if you say it to, like, you know, like an FU, you know, then that's not nice, you know. So it's like, so now we have context, right? It's like, so what happens with the word? It was good. I'm trying to remember. It's cool, man. It's a cool show. I love George, man. Rest in peace. That's my dude. So where are we gonna go from here? That's a good question. Yeah, that's the question. What's that? That's the question for the week. Where are we gonna go from here? Where are you gonna go from here? Who are you? Right? We all need to slow down, like I say, and start paying attention to what you're thinking, right? How you're feeling, and then, for gosh forbid, how what you're thinking determines what you're feeling, right? And that's, like, I talk about how you can feel yourself digest food if you meditate on it enough. Like, that's a little much, but think about the level of body awareness that you would have if you actually learned that. You could be like, oh, it's here. Oh, it's here. Oh, hey, why isn't it moving as fast as it used to? Oh, maybe I need some water, right? Like, it's probably good to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, all right, I'm gonna stop blabbing here, guys. I gotta go. We gotta go hang out. I gotta watch the rest of George Carlin for sure. I think it's a series, docu-series. Like, we watched the first episode, was like an hour and 45 minutes. I thought it was a movie, and then it's not. And it was on Hulu. I forget what it's called, but nowadays you can just Google it online. If you guys don't know the website, you watch any movie that's out nowadays, any series that's out nowadays, like, just let me know. I'll hit you up. Because, yeah, they just stream it online. Like, you don't need to pay for cable. Just stream it. All right, guys. Freedom. Yeah. Sorry, not gonna make no money off it. Oh well. Freedom. That's what we're here for, right? And that's a big red flag too. Freedom, and yeah, And like, I mean, like, you know, we need to make money for sure because we got to survive. But it's like, how much are you actually making? You know, like the because we saw two moms. She's talking about the one with who was it? It's not Nia Long. It's this other girl, man. Rachel. I can't think. But it was a pastor. It was based off a book that somebody wrote. But it was a pastor and his wife, and basically like they were at church, but he had this massive house, dude, and he had all the suits. You know, he steps in gum in the one scene, and they're, you know, the video recording the, you know, like the people are, you know, the recording team and not in the movie makers, in the show, they were being recorded like reality TV. You know, they were bringing their church back and whatever. And so he steps in the gum and he's just like starts cussing and he's like, these are whatever kind of important shoes there are, you know, whatever name brand, and you know, and then he's, oh, can we just cut that part out? You know, it's just like, you know, so you know, it's cool, like, you know, but you know, spiritual knowledge, like you don't even need to pay for it. You can just start meditating, figure it out yourself, start thinking about what you're thinking about, right? So like, yeah, we need to stop overthinking. I agree 100%, right? But we don't live in a place where we're safe to do that, okay? We don't live in a place where we're safe yet, where we can, not everybody, like, but collectively as people, like, we can't just go off and just act like children and just like let it all hang out and blah, 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 you know what I mean? Like start, you know, never mind. You know, I'm just getting at, you know, there's got to be some level of thought, okay, into the, you know, let's keep this decent over here. Okay. You know, so it's like, but and that's the thing too. That's the game to get you to stop using your thoughts as if your thoughts are just completely bad, you know, and the mind is no good. Oh no, the mind, you know, and it's like, yeah, sure. In the beginning, you know, that's all most people use because we're trained on it. We're trained to use the mind all the time. We're trained to look at books, study them, read, memorize them, figure out. We're trained to use our logical mind constantly. So yeah, you got to let that go. A lot of that, but we're not at the place where we live in just a free, you know what I mean? Like, I want to go jump off a cliff with no parachute. Nope, it's not going to work out for you, you know, until we get in a planet world where we can actually wild out like that. I mean, that's not this place yet. So just don't do that here. So, you know, think, but, you know, common sense, use some critical thinking. Don't overthink, you know. It's like I said, don't over express or something, you know, don't do that too. You're going to exhaust your adrenals if you just act, and you can overact, right? Like a child who overacts, right? Screams for 30 minutes and then they're zonked out right away because they're exhausted. It's simple, man. It's so simple to see. We got to start watching what we're doing and listening to what's being said, and, you know, and the whole thing. And you know what? We'll end it like this. Shout out George Carlin, rest in peace. Question everything. How do you say it? He said, teach your kids how to question everything, you know, and something like that. So yeah, that was George. So all right. Much love, y'all. Thanks for stopping in, George. That was fun. You know, it's nice to feel his energy every now and then. And we do anytime we watch the shows, you know, the people we love. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Much love, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Baseball been better good too.